Hello friends, how are you today? Hopefully you all are good and fine. Thank you. So my name is Nirmal Shankar and my channel name is Nirmal Technical. And today I came back with my new video on Kubernetes and agenda is labels and node selector in Kubernetes. So first let me tell you what are labels and what is a node selector in Kubernetes. So I will tell you one by one on both. What are labels in Kubernetes? So label you want to give a tag to a object simply. Okay, an object, you know that in Kubernetes there are so many objects like a pod node. So taking example to give a better understanding what are labels. So let's say in a class there are 50 students. Okay, 30 students which are having marks in subject math greater than 75%. Okay, and 20 students which are having marks less than 75%. I am just giving example to get a to make understanding for you friends. So in to there two category in class 50 students, 30 students which are having marks in ninth class more than 75%. Okay, and 20 students which are having marks less than 75%. So uh, let's say we if we want to find out the students which are having less than marks 75% in a class. So what is the easiest way? Okay, so either you can do to ask in class about 50 students, please stand up your hand. The students which are having marks is less than 75% math subject. This is the one way. Either what you can do in better way, you just prepared Excel sheet. I'm just telling, I'm just giving, I'm like trying to you get to understand, okay? And there are uh, like attendance. So in 50 students, what you will do? You will prepare just to ask that first students which are having the mark sheet, taking the mark sheet, and they those students which are having marks less than 75%, just tag math good. The students which are having marks greater than 55%, math expert. Okay. Mm-hmm. And like you just prepared a one in your Excel, you can say, yeah, you can prepare the register. Okay, and also tell to those students, okay, which are having a marks in greater than 75%, 30 to 30 students, like you have a tag math expert. Okay, and also tell those students which are having less than 75%, 20 students meanwhile, you have a tag, a label math good. So in future, if you say, please stand up that math expert students. So if all are students available in that class, so 32 students will stand up because they know that their label which have already assigned to those. What label? Math expert. And if anyone say, please stand up all the students which are having label math good. So obviously those 20 students which are having less than 25% marks, they will stand up. So this is the easiest way to find out. So in that term, now I am moving in technology term in Kubernetes. So let's say if you have applied a label, let's say in Kubernetes there are 100 pods. 100 pod means that 100 containers is running. I am considering one container is running in one pod. Okay, so there are 100 pods. Meanwhile, 100 containers are running, and 50 containers are running on different service, like service A, and 50 containers are different service, service B. So 50 pods are which are container running of service A, and 50 pods which are running container service B. So if you have applied our label to those 50 containers, to those 50 pods, okay, what label you want to, like, just you have applied a label service A, those 50 pods. Then you have applied a service B label to 50 pods. So in future, if you want to find out how many pods are running in this our cluster setup service A, so you can find out easily. There is a one command process, everything I will show you. Just searching by filter, what filter? Label, what label? Service A. Filter in terms of, I'm telling you that label. So how will you find out? You will find out applying a label service A. So in label there are two things. In label, what? Key and value. Key means where, what is key here? So key is service, and what is value? So value is A. So service A, that means key is service. Here service is denoting for key, and A is denoting for value. So in label you should have clear concept. In label, key and value. So key is denoting for like what you want to define a label. Then value, that what is the value of that key. Okay. So I think you have understand. You got to understand. Okay. Whenever I will show you on lab, so it will be more clear for you what labels. Okay. What are the labels? So when you applied like a label, so it will be easily to find out how which service you want to find out in your cluster, in your Kubernetes environment, how many services are running service A, how many services are running service B, in how many ports are using service A, how many ports are using service B. And you can also delete, you can also add more than one label on an object. There are so many things. So let me show you on lab. I try to give understanding that label. And one more thing, label it not unique identity, because label you can apply a group of objects. Let's say there are 50 pods, you want to apply a same label at those 50 pods, so you can do. Hopefully you are getting it. Is not like identity. Identity is different to that label. Okay, so you label you can apply it like let's say there. I'm again giving another example to get understand. Let's say in cricket team there are 11 players and 5 players are which are batsmen, but they don't know about how to do bowling. So those like 5 players have labeled batting. I'm just trying to give example. So if you want to, and you have already told that you have like your data with you that how many players are know only batting. So in future, if anyone asks you in your team how many bats are there, how many batsmen are there, so you will see a label that batsman. Yeah, honestly, you can tell that those players' name to that person who is asking to you. So this is what about labels. So okay, let me moving on that our lab, and I also have prepared. I have also prepared at our manifest file for label appliement label. So let me show you our manifest file. So friends, this is our manifest file for label. And one more thing, label is not for a pod only. Where you want to apply, you can do. You want to apply for pod, you want to apply for node. Node means cluster setup. You know that they are node, control plane, and worker node. So where you want, you can do. So let me share with you one file example of manifest file example for label. So here I am giving a taking example of pod object. So kind is pod, API version is v1, metadata is name. So I have just define a name of that pod, test pod. And remember, when you want to apply a label, so it should be under metadata. So label labels, this is key. So as I earlier told you, this is key and this is value. So in labels, you should write down here labels. This is fixed, but after that, whatever you want to define. So I have defined as a tag. This is key and k tag that label. So this is value. If you want to define as a city, that here Nagpur, Kanpur, Delhi, everything you want. That means what you want to define, you can do. So like city name, that color. So color is black, blue. Not bro, dear. Whatever you want to apply a label, you can do. It is not like a predefined. So in manifest file, it is this is fixed. So it's for pod object. This is fixed like label. It should become under metadata. But after that, in labels, key and value, whatever you want to define, you can do. It is not like fixed. I just giving an example here. Tag label. Okay. In tag, that is key. So whatever you want to write here, city name, color, city color, and hospital. That means I'm just telling you example. And that here name, the value, the city is Kanpur, Delhi, Nagpur, Chennai. You can do everything. Then specification is containers. Container name is test container. Image Ubuntu. You know that it is like earlier in other our videos I have shared you. This is the like specifications, that is container. So want to create a container. Name is test container. Image Ubuntu. And while true, so one run a command do echo label containers. So I think you have a basic concept about labels, and this is our manifest file. And one more thing, guess for today lab, I will not use any virtual server like any Oracle, and I will not use any cloud service like AWS instance. Nothing. So guess what I will do today for our lab? Yes, one more thing. There is one official website of Kubernetes, and you can learn. You can try your practical on that official website. So let me show you. So Kubernetes IO. This is official website of Kubernetes. Go on documentation, and you first thing you can search here everything. So as today our agenda lab agenda is labels and node selector. So label, just put here label and search it. See labels and selector. You can see here everything. So what are labels? Labels are key oblique value pairs that are attached to objects such as pods, and main important thing is also here like unlike names and unique identity. So it is not like a unique identity. Labels do not provide uniqueness. I just shared with you that labels do not provide uniqueness. Meanwhile, we expect many objects to carry the same labels. Meanwhile, you can apply a same label to many objects. Like there are 50 ports, 60 ports, 40 ports. So you can do same label to many ports. Okay, and yes, also label you can read everything here. And additionally, today, as I told you that I will not launch any virtual machine, any cloud server like AWS instance. So, friends, as I already told you, so in official website of Kubernetes, you can also do practical experience here. How? Yes, I will tell you how is it possible. So, there go on here documentation, then try Kubernetes. So, click on Hello Minikube and create a Minikube cluster. So, go on here launch terminal. Yes, it will take some time loading environment and very this is very interesting. You don't need to do like cluster setup. You don't need anything. But friends, it is my like suggestion before going on here this, if you know like manual cluster setup and everything, then it is good. Otherwise, first you try to learn on like manually how to do cluster setup, how to do minikube using minikube, how to do cluster setup using cubedium. Then if you know that everything, then you can try here, because this is already it is everything is prepared. Just you can start here. So you can see when you will launch this terminal, it is showing here. What is showing here? Done. Kubelet is now configured to use minikube cluster. Okay, this is the kubelet is now configured to use minikube cluster and default namespace by default. So so let's we start our making our first manifest file for label. Then I will show you after manifest file a node selector. So first I will run two three commands: q ctl get nodes. You can see minikube is status ready, control plane master, kubectl get ports. You can see no resource found in default because I did not create any ports, so nothing is running related ports. So node is minikube is ready. Also one more thing, you can fire the command kubectl minikube status. Even we know that minikube is ready, but you can fire this command also. So minikube type control plane, host is running, kubelet is running, APIs are running, so everything is okay. So we can go further. Okay. So let me write our first manifest file. So vi, as you know that today agenda is label and then node selector. So first I am saying with you that label. So label dot yaml. Okay. And let me do our copy that manifest file from there. So this is our manifest file for label. And friends, label, as I told you that label, that is a key and value. And one more thing in label, labels are two types. how it like label. One is like equality based, and one is like setup setup based. Mm. Equity based like city is equal to Nagpur. Yeah, city is equal to not Nagpur. Okay, this is like equality based. I will show you and that. Mm, but if I will launch this again, this okay, no problem. I will open that again. Terminal. I will show you. Yes, this is equality based requirement like environmental production, tire is front end. So that is equal to it is not equal to. So tire is not equal to front end. That is one. And another one is set based requirements. So you can study from here this official website. It is very good official website of Kubernetes. Okay, so again I have to launch at our uh, lab. So hello minikube, then launch terminal. It will take some time. Okay, see you can see it will it is like automatic starting that minikube. Nothing I did not nothing need to do from here terminal. It itself it is automatic preparing that minikube cluster. Kubelet ready, creating certificates and keys, booting up control plane. Yes, you can see done. Kubelet is now configured to use minikube cluster. Okay, so press Control L. Now you can see that done. Kubelet is now configured to use minikube and cluster and default namespace is default. So Control L. Okay, so let me write first our manifest file. So vi and label.yml. Okay, copy over that this manifest file and paste here. But here before applying, just let me cross check. So kind is pod. Okay, API version is v1. Pod name is test pod. And remember, if you want to apply a label to a object, object may be a pod and another object. So it should be come under metadata. So here for pod, you can see in pod, this is fixed. Whenever you want to apply a label to a object pod under manifest file, so you have to write here labels. This is fixed, okay, under metadata. But here you want you can do define anything. So tag is label. If you want to define like city, so I will write down city, and then Nagpur, Kanpur, Delhi, Ghaziabad, everything you want to define, you can write down here. Then specification is container, name is test container, image Ubuntu, and this is like our command. So what is command to run in container? So do you go run label containers if I have done. So our manifest file is ready. Let me apply this. To press ESC, WQ, okay, WQ you can see, and then enter. So cube apply -f label dot YAML. Yes, you can see pod is test pod created. So first of all, cube ctl get pods. You can see test pod what test pod num pod which is having name test pod is running. State is running 12 seconds before, and one by one, as I told you many times, one by one means that is a one container which is running successfully. Okay. Now our agenda is today about labels. So I want to see which label is assigned. Let's say I don't know what label is applied on this test board. So how will you find out? Q, CTL, get pods, because I have created only one pod, so I will not write down that pod name. Otherwise, if you want to many created pods, you can, if you want to find out a particular pod which label is applied. So so kubectl get pods, then command is hyphen hyphen show and hyphen labels. You know what I have applied in that our manifest file label? Tag label. If you want to again see, I will show you. Yes, tag label. Okay, so this is equality based label. So tag is equal to label. Now let me fire 2 3 more commands to give more understanding about. Let's say this pod test pod is having one label. What label is? Tag is equal to label. If I want to add one more tag, one more label to this pod, so what is the command? Cube ctl, then label, then object. I am giving a better understanding of what is the process. Label. If you want to add a new label, so what is the command? Kubectl, then label, then object. So what object is? Pod. Then object name. So what is the object name? Is test pod. Then what label you want to define? So I want to define it like this. Uh, let's say uh, type. Type is equal to pod. And let me run this command. What output came? Pod. This is object. Then object name is test pod and labeled. That means label has been applied. So let me fire this again command. What command? Cube ctl get pods hyphen hyphen show hyphen labels. You can see now here is tag is equal to label. Now tag is equal to label and type is equal to pod, which I have just applied here. Type is equal to pod. Now if you want to apply two label at once time, guys, one more thing. You can see in our first level I have written a manifest file, but you can also apply a label using CLI base like command level interface. So if you want to apply a label, you can also do via CLI base command level interface. What is the command? kubectl, then label, then object. So object is pod here, then object name, so test pod and label. So it is equality based label. So type is equal to pod. Now if I want to add two labels at once, means in at a time I want to apply two labels. So same command. Okay, label is pod, kubectl label pod, then object pod name, and then again I want to apply a different label. As I earlier told you, you can apply, you can like you can label, you can like add a label, many labels to a particular object. You are getting, you can see it is not here two labels I applied to particular object test code. If you want to apply two more labels, you can do. So how? Let's say I will write down here everything city Kanpur to give a better understanding, to give a very clear, in very clear view what about labels. City is equal to Kanpur and uh, city is equal to Kanpur and everything you want to do like name is equal to uh, name is equal to name is equal to um, pod object. Fire this command. Yes, pod is test pod and labeled. Let me show you again. Now how many labels are showing here for this object particular? So you can see one, two, three, four. So four labels have been applied yet till now. City is equal to Kanpur, name is equal to pod object, tag is equal to label, and type is equal to pod. Now let's say if we want to find out uh, let me create a one more pod, then it will give a better understanding. So cube ctl. Also one more thing, if you want to create a pod, as I told you in previous videos, if you want to create a pod, you can do also a command level. So cube ctl run that name, like so. Let me write the name of Nirmal, then image. So image equal to Ubuntu, okay, and sleep infinity. Yes. So pod name is Nirmal is created. So cube ctl get pods. You can see there is a two pod. One is named Nirmal and one is test pod. Both are running successfully. Just Nirmal name is pod. It just created before 11 seconds, and the test pod is running since 7 minutes 7 seconds. Okay. Now what levels are running on which pod I will show you. So let's say if want to see, I have applied a one label city is equal to Kanpur, but I don't know which pod this label is working. On which pod I have applied this label city is equal to Kanpur. You have to find out. Here is example is two pod, but in real environment there are 50 pods, 1,000 pods, and you have to find out. I have applied a label city is equal to Kanpur, but I don't know which pods are connected to this label, which how many pods are configured to this label. So how will you find out? So let me show you. Cube so kubectl, okay, get pods. I don't know that. I don't know which pod is configured to city is equal to Kanpur, but I will find out how. Let me show you. So kubectl get pods, then hyphen L. That means it denotes a label. Then space city is equal to Kanpur. Now you can see output is only test pod. This time it did not reflect all the pods, because in which only only one pod which is having which is having one label city is equal to Kanpur, only test pod. Other pods are not having this label city is equal to Kanpur. And now if you want to delete, uh, this is equality based, and also if want to see how many pods which are not labeled to this city is equal to Kanpur label. If want to see how many pods which are running in cluster setup, which are running this environment, which are not to labeled city is equal to Kanpur. So nothing need to do, just fire this command and add this one. So city is equal to not put Kanpur. Guess what output will be show you here? Guess what will be the output? Let me show you. This time you saw Nirmal because you control L, cube, CTL, get ports. This time because I have created till time two ports only. Okay, and whenever you will fire this command, so it is not reflecting test port because in test port city is equal to Kanpur is already tagged. What I am trying to search here, city is equal to not, that is not, city is equal to not Kanpur, where city is equal to not Kanpur. That means that ports which are not tagged with city is equal to Kanpur. You can see in this way. So that one port which is having name Nirmal, which is not tagged to city is equal to Kanpur. So that's the reason Nirmal is showing here. Now moving on next command. If you want to delete label. So I am telling you here in using of labels. If you want to delete a pod but not using the name. If you want to delete a pod which is having city is equal to Kanpur label. Yeah, you can see. Let me show cube ctl get pods hyphen show hyphen labels. So guys, in Nirmal there is a one label running equal to Nirmal because I have fired that command CLI base kubectl run then that name, so don't get it confused. So if I want to delete one pod which is having name like type is equal to pod, yeah, tag is equal to label. So how? Let me show you. Cube, but I will not write down that pod name. I will delete this pod using label. So kubectl delete pod. Yes, I will not write down that specific pod name, whatever I want to delete. I want to delete a pod using a label service. How? So kubectl delete pod, then hyphen L. Okay, what labels you want to delete for a specific pod? So I want to delete a label which is having pod tag is equal to label. Yeah, city is equal to Kanpur. So city is equal to Kanpur. Guess which pod will be deleted? Obvious, this test pod will be deleted. Let me show you. QCT delete pod hyphen L. L means denoting here label. City is equal to Kanpur. Yes, you can see. Pod test pod deleted. Nirmal is not deleted because reason behind that the city is equal to Kanpur. This label is only tagged to this test pod, not Nirmal. So let me show you that now how many pods are running in. You can see test pod is deleted because I think it get hangs. That's why I press Control Z. So you can see now Nirmal is only running the pod name. So this is what I like about labels. You can apply many labels to a particular object pod. You can delete a pod using labels. You can delete a pod by label. You can add many labels to an object. You can search. You can find out. And one more thing. Yes. Mm, if you want to see like if you want to remove, yes. If you want to remove, so first let me kubectl. Let me add a label to this Nirmal pod. So kubectl label, then object. So object is pod, then object name. So Nirmal. I want to apply that this all labels to this. Uh, but remember, this format will be different. Comma should not be there. So all three labels, city is equal to Kanpur, name is equal to pod object, and tag is equal to label, and type is equal to Ford. Sorry, Ford labels will be applied to this pod object Nirmal. You can see labeled. So Nirmal is labeled. How? Now I will show you. Qctl get pods pod hyphen so hyphen labels. You can see now Nirmal had tagged with four other labels. City is equal to Kanpur, name is equal to pod object, run is equal to Nirmal. So tag is equal to label and type is equal to pod. And one more thing, you guys, you can see it is comes in systematic. So C letter is come first. So C, then N, then R, then T. So you getting now. Let's say if you want to remove this city is equal to Kanpur label from this object. So this is also possible. How? Cube ctl label object name, so pod. Now this time you have to define that object name, because if you want to remove a label, so you have to define from which object you want to remove that label. So kubectl label pod, then object name, so Nirmal. And if you want to remove that city is equal to Kanpur, so what you will do, city is equal to then this, wait, kubectl label pod Nirmal. Yes. Now let me show you kubectl get pods hyphen so hyphen labels. Control L, same command again fire. Yes, you can see now this time city is equal to Kanpur is removed. So what is the command? Kubectl label, then object name, and then whatever you want to remove that label. So label, it is key. You have to write down key, then only hyphen. So key, our label was city is equal to Kanpur. So if you want to remove that particular label, so kubectl label, then object name, then that key, not value, key, then hyphen. So it will be removed from there. So friends, one agenda is complete over about how to about label, and this is equilibrium. What I share you, I have shared with you both example equilibrium, and yes, dear, not sorry for that. I have shared with you only equilibrium example. I did not share with you like setup base. So I will also show you one example, but not in manifest file. Uh, I will show you via CLI base. So kubectl get, first let me create another pod. So kubectl run uh, pod 1, then image should be Ubuntu. Yeah, you can write down any image. So CentOS, then sleep infinity. See, guys, you know that probably I think you should know that if you don't know, I will tell you what I am writing at sleep infinity, because the reason behind it, I am creating a container, then name is pod one, and using image is equal to image equal to CentOS. Sleep infinity, that means inside that container, container which is inside in pod one should be continue run. That is the reason behind it. I am writing a sleep is equal to infinity, and that enter. Yes, you can see that pod name is pod one is created. So kubectl get pods. You can see there should be two output, that one pod is Nirmal, second pod is pod 1. Yes, because it was showing container creating, so that image is CentOS, not Ubuntu. So it was pulling that image CentOS. Now you can see both pod is successfully ready. Nirmal was already ready. That means pod which is having name Nirmal, and secondly pod which is having name pod 1, which is also ready and container is successfully running. I told you many times that here one by one means one, there is one container under one container, and this is the same container successfully running. Two by two means there are two containers in which two containers are running successfully. So now let me show you that levels also. So kubectl show kubectl get pods hyphen show and labels. So always I told you that whenever you will create a container, you will create a pod, you syllabus, in label it will always reflect to run then what you have mentioned. So I have mentioned that pod name is pod 1, so label city like run equal to pod 1. Now what I will do, uh, I have said with you till time that equality base. Equality base means that key is equal to this, otherwise key is equal to not this.